understand what the speaker is saying. We covered ourselves with the blood of Jesus, and we declare this meeting open in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. Can I see a show of emoji for that wonderful opening prayer by Kiweseria? Let's give her a show of emojis. So, moving on very quickly, because we have a lot of ground to cover, which I'm sure our wonderful speaker is going to be doing for us today. I'm going to give a very brief opening speech. Good day, everyone. Once again, I would like to welcome you all to one of the webinar series of the Southwest. This is a collaboration with the Southwest region and ADLM Studios. So I would like to plead with every one of us today to not be shy. Try to ask as much questions as possible, because it's one of those rare opportunities that you're going to get, and try to make the most of this webinar. Do not be shy to ask questions, clarifications, etc., and take advantage of this particular webinar today. So moving on very quickly, because I want to cover much ground today. I would like us to call on our speaker, the founder and the current CEO of ADLM Studios, QUASIM Adedolapo, to take the podium. So let's see our show of emoji for him.
Good morning, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can. Good morning.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you all doing?
We are good.
In 1 minute.
We are doing fine, sir.
Okay, that's nice. Let me share my screen 1 minute. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay, 1 second. Good morning once again, and welcome to our wonderful section. First, I'd like to appreciate the leadership of NQSS Southwest region for this wonderful opportunity for us to get to discuss about the topic. This will be more of an interactive webinar where we get to learn, understand the emerging technology in the quantity surveying profession and emerging QS tools, basically. Okay. So sorry, I'm trying to set my microphone. Okay. So can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because I was having issues on my hand. Sorry. Okay, good. So once again, good morning, and let me introduce myself for those that are probably be hearing of me for the first time. My name is Adedolapo. I am the team lead and founder of the Academy for Digital Learning and Mastery Studio, ADLM, and I would be guiding us through understanding emerging QS professional tools and the digital QS, that for us to become a digital QS basically in conjunction with NQSS Southwest zone. Why are we discussing on emerging digital tools? For us to understand the emerging digital tools, why are we discussing this? Basically, I grouped them into three basic reasons. That's for more complex construction. Now, what many of us might be used to is basically simple construction and all of that. But for more complex construction process, there is need for speed, cost pressure, documentation demands, and several other demands that are becoming up as young quantity surveyors going into the industry, for young quantity surveyors going into the industry. So it's very important that you get to understand emerging digital tools. So you know tools that you can use at various stage of work or at various phases of work. Then to make data-backed decision, these days now, the entire thing we are doing in this world has to be backed by data. We've got past the phases of assumption. As quantity surveyors also, it is very important that we try as much as possible to reduce our level of assumption on when dealing with clients, because many clients nowadays are informed. So when dealing with many informed clients, it is very important that you make data-backed decision. So for you to make data-backed decision, that means there should be a basis for decision. Let's say, for example, duration of work and all of that. So the basis for those decision making is where um using digital tools or digital technology can help you to create the basis that, okay, based on this particular technology, that is, or this particular tool you are using, that is how you are making this decision, or based on your analysis and simulations you've done earlier, which we'll still talk about later on. Then we're talking about managing information. The quant surveying profession has shifted basically from just measuring to now managing cost information. I think especially in the advent of BIM, basically, the QS role has evolved from what it used to be. Most QS, and how many undergraduates here, you feel like, oh, QS role is just PPM, POQs, and all of that. Now, work has evolved beyond that. So, basic digital that I'll be using for various evolution of our workflow, not just to do your point takeoff, but to even manage construction costs, to manage your project timeline, and to make data-backed decision. So all of that will be looked at in today's session. Now, digital tools will help quantity surveyors deliver faster takeoffs. So can we all mute our mics, please? Okay. So basically, digital tools will actually help quantity surveyors deliver faster quantity takeoffs, which actually help to better our cost certainty. Like we are doing our cost control now with the help of digital tools. We can now do stronger cost reporting where we don't just use your BOQ Excel sheet alone. We can create cost dashboards, we can create material dashboards using various tools that we'll talk about later on. Then it's professional collaboration. There's now this level of professional collaboration amongst professionals in the AEC industry, which is now made possible with the use of digital tools. So basically, digital tools are not replacing the quantity surveyor. It is upgrading the QS, because many people are always like, if they use this digital tool, it's going to take their job from them or one thing or the other. But it is important for you to realize that digital tools will not take your job from you as a quantity surveyor. It will just give you an extra advantage, make your work faster, easier, your reporting and all of that. So when someone that does come and present us ordinary Excel sheets and tabular sheets, you as a digital QS that makes use of digital tools will not just be coming with Excel sheet anymore. You'll be coming with detailed and well-backed information from your clients. Okay, those are things that we'll be looking at in today's session. Okay. Now, the roadmap to our session. What are we going to cover today? Basically, we'll be covering what a digital QS means, who is a digital QS, and the roles of a QS in the digital environment. We'll be looking at various tool stack every emerging QS should know. As a QS, you should be able to use several tools. Okay. Who is the host? Can you just meet everyone, please? Can the host mute everyone, please?
Sorry, can they hold on?
Okay.
I have done that. I've done that. Hello, QS QUASIM, can you hear me? Hello, QS
You
QUASIM.
need to unmute. You also muted him, so you need to
Yeah,
unmute.
I noticed it. I think I'll probably just make him meeting host instead.
So means every individual should just mute themselves.
And some individuals are joining and they are not paying attention to the fact that they need to mute yourself. That's the issue. Trying to make him the host, but seems like I'm having a little bit of issue with that.
He can unmute himself.
QS QUASIM, can you unmute yourself?
Can everyone hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh,
Make me the meeting notes also, please. Okay. So, let's proceed. Sorry about that. Like I said, I was saying, we'll look at every tech stack that every emerging QS should know. Then we'll look at various digital tools we are building at ADLM, that our tools we've built so far at ADLM for the Nigerian QS workflow and even international roles. Then we'll look at new roles and opportunities for young QS. You need to understand, especially as undergraduates, but I think more people that are on this call are undergraduates. You need to understand that your roles in the modern era is not just limited to you doing quantity takeoff or views of quantities. It is now more than that. So there are several new opportunities that are available for young quantity surveyors, and the best time for you to start that journey is when you are in school, because you have enough time for you to do all the stuff. Now look at practical roadmap. It's not just me giving you theoretical perspective or your call to action, things you need to do for you to achieve perfection and for you to stand out in this digital era and for you to be called a digital quantity surveyor. Okay. Now, who is a digital quantity surveyor? Let me ask. A digital quantity surveyor is basically a quantity surveyor who can measure and estimate with speed and structure. So I did not say measure and estimate with software. Say measure and estimate with speed and structure. So how do you now achieve that speed and structure? Is by using tools that will make you stand out, that will make you work faster and smarter. Where you have your structured tool sets that you can use at every point in time for various stage of work. There's not one tool fit all for the AEC industry, that's the construction industry. It is just interoperability of several tools for you to achieve a particular workflow faster and easier. So as undergraduates, the best time for you to start your journey to digitization is now. Then a digital QS is a QS who can convert project information into cost intelligence. When it comes to BIM, who knows the full meaning of BIM? Anybody? And someone drop on the chat box. Just basically use the chat box. The full meaning of BIM. BIM. Anyone has heard of BIM before? The full meaning of BIM. Okay, building information modeling. Okay. Hmm. Everyone is still saying the same thing, building information modeling. Okay, good. Yeah, we all have an idea, but BIM is not just building information modeling. It's also called building information management. Okay. Now, when we talk about BIM, it's not just about 3D models anymore. It's about building information. You got the client's brief. The client brief was converted to 2D drawing. 2D drawing was then converted to 3D models. Then this 3D model was now later converted to this 3D models was now converted to um okay. The 3D models were then converted into cost information, time information, and all of that. So the process of you building all of this information is called building information modeling. So for it to be called a digital QS, you should be able to work with BIM models. That's the models that come with BIM. Now, when we talk about BIM models, it's not just your 3D drawing, but information-rich model. And just be able to manage construction information and building information. Okay. Then you should also be able to prepare project schedules and create dashboards for digital reporting. So for you to be called a digital QS, you should be able to work with 3D models, BIM models, basically. You should be able to use project schedules. You should be able to do your 4D simulation, 5D simulation. You're able to create your dashboard and digital reporting. It is until you have this tool set or skill set, that is when you can call yourself a digital QS. So it's not just about you using a particular digital tool, your quantity takeoff. Quantity takeoff is one of many phases of work as a quantity surveyor. Okay, so you think that okay, you're using a tool for quantity takeoff, and you think that is the epitome of digitization. No, that is just the beginning. The quantity surveyor's workflow is from quantity takeoff, bill of quantities, material schedule, cost analysis, project management, time management, 5D simulation, cost control, variation, valuation, and all of that. Even contract administration. So you see that your workflow as a quantity surveyor is more than just using a digital tool for a quantity takeoff. So for you to be called a digital QS, you should be able to work with these three items I've highlighted here. And for you to be called a digital QS, you should be able to use tech to deliver cost planning, cost control, value engineering, procurement support, and claim and variation tracking. It is until you're able to do all of these five activities with tech, that is when you can now call yourself a digital QS. So the aspect of quantity takeoff is just the beginning of your output or deliverables as a quantity surveyor. How do you achieve the most optimal project planning for your construction projects? How do you plan your procurement? What digital tools are using to plan procurement? What digital tools are using for cost control? Expenditure cost plan. How do you do your value engineering? All of these are things. There are several tools working together for you to actually achieve that. So that's why I said earlier that a tool or a software cannot take the QS job because it is not going to do all of that in straight. This is a QS that uses digital tools that can take a QS that does not use digital tools job. So for you to be called a digital QS, you should be able to measure and estimate with speed and structure. You should be able to use tech to deliver your deliverables as a quantity surveyor. Okay. Now let's look at what we've done so far. We'll come back to this slide, but let's look at the Emeging QS tech stack before we go into that. Now, for Emeging QS tech stack, we have we've grouped these emerging tools into 6 different categories for quantity surveyors. So for you to call yourself a digital QS, you should be able to use digital tools. This digital tools for several of various pieces of work of your deliverables. And what are digital tools we need to make use of? For measurement and quantity takeoff, you can make use of PlantSwift or Bluebeam or Costex or Autodesk Revit. Those are tools you can make use of for quantity takeoff. So that is just one out of 6 different aspects. And the next aspect, for you to work with BIM model, do your model review, and even do your quantity takeoff and material preparation for 3D models, or even do your 4D, 5D analysis and simulation. You need Revit, Navisworks, and understand IFC viewers. Those are things. So if you understand what BIM is about, then you need to understand those IFC. Those are IFC viewers or IFC files are file standards set by the BIM protocol. That's ISO 19650 that guides the BIM process. I think part 2 or part 3. These are things you need to understand. Now, cost planning and BOQ. You can make use of your Excel for your cost plan. You can use QS templates systems. Then you can create your own custom system for cost planning and bill of quantities. And you have your custom format, your BOQ format that you can make use of. Then for planning and tracking, you can either use Microsoft Project or Primavera. Then for reporting and your dashboards, you can use Power BI for your reporting. You can use Google Sheets dashboards for reporting. Now for collaboration, you can use Google Drive as your CDE. You can use Autodesk Construction Cloud, that's ACC, for your basics. You can use Microsoft OneDrive also. So these are various tools you need to make use of. So you see that as for you to call yourself a digital QS, you must be skilled in at least one of these tools in all of these sections. While PlantSwift handles 2D drawings, you can make use of Autodesk Revit for 3D drawings and quantity takeoff. So those are one of the things we've done at ADLM is to allow quantity surveyors to now use Revit for BOQ preparation and material schedule for the first time, which has never existed before. So QS can confidently get 3D models, not just the PDF drawings, and prepare their views directly from it. And several other features. Okay. So it is important that before you can call yourself a digital QS, you must learn at least one of each tools in this section. Yeah. Now let's look at two sets. One for digital measurements, 2D drawings, basically. So for you to achieve digital measurement for 2D drawings, it's important that you as a young quantity surveyor make use of digital tools for 2D measurements. Now, what changes when you go digital for your 2D measurements? You have faster quantity takeoff with traceability. You see, when you do a manual takeoff, I'm not trying to downplay manual takeoff. It is still the foundation of everything we are doing. But when you do your manual takeoff, most of the time, you might replace your taking of sheets when you're trying to trace and all of that, which usually costs or creates more work. Then for complex drawing, not just square shape drawing, for very complex drawing or advanced drawing, it is important for you to use digital tools for the quantity takeoff. So with digital tools for your quantity takeoff, it allows for faster takeoff with traceability. You can create standard measurement templates that you can make use of, and it uses rework and error. So instead of you to repeat the same thing every single time, because I have templates that you could probably your BOQ format and all of that, that helps you to just automatically do everything immediately. Then with digital tools, you can also achieve easy revision for your drawings. Now, what young quantity surveyor should master? What should you master as a young quantity surveyor, especially during your undergraduate days? You should be able to understand how to set up your drawing with a 2D software, then how to check out your scale, how to dimension your drawing, take counts from your drawing, then understand your work breakdown structure. Work breakdown structure here is basically your takeoff list. Understand your takeoff list, understand how to create your takeoff list. Then exporting all of these quantities to Excels and BOQ formats. Those are things you need to understand as a young quantity surveyor. Okay. Then the next thing we will look at is model-based quantity takeoff. That's the second aspect. That's for 3D model. You see, unlike before, where point surveyors have to like make use of just 2D drawings for a point takeoff. Now they will give you the 3D model. That's for BIM based takeoff. So when you use digital tools for BIM based takeoff, you can take quantities from real objects like the walls, the slab, the doors, even MEP items. So you are taking you are not overthinking. The mistake I've seen many people make is they overthink things, and that is where the problem is. As a point surveyor, you are not meant to overthink things. It is your bill, the documents you are working with comes from the basis of the drawing. So you are speaking and you are extracting quantities directly from the drawings that were provided. So for those of us that are in school, you have friends that are in architecture, you have friends in civil engineering, you have friends in electrical engineering and mechanical engineering. You can just easily walk up to them and meet them and request for 3D models from them. Because they're also working on practical. So request for 3D models from them and use 3D takeoff software to do your takeoff. These are things you need to lay your hands on as undergraduates. These are things that will actually help you when going out. Then faster revision when design changes. Unlike before, where when design changes, you have to go back and forth. That is not happening anymore here. Okay. So with 3D models, you can easily take your do your design revision in real time without any stress. And this allows for better coordination, clash detection, clash awareness, and even stronger audit track for cost decision. Because now with 3D drawings, for those that have probably seen ADLM Revit plugin before, you see when you highlight your takeoff that you've done inside the 3D Revit plugin, it highlights inside the Revit model. So every item of work that you've measured for, as you're highlighting it, it is highlighting the Revit. Even your bill, digital bill that comes with it, gets highlighted in the Revit model. So that way you have this audit trial for every cost decision you're going to make, because you are seeing where it's coming from. When you do the material schedule, for example, where is that material coming from? Do you get? All of these things are things and factors you need to consider when using digital tools. Okay. Are we all together? Can we drop an eye on the chat box if we are still together? Eye on the chat box. Okay, good, good. Okay, that's good. That's nice thing. Okay, let's continue then. Now, what should you know as an emerging QS, that's a young quant surveyor and an undergraduate? You should understand how to make use of levels, categories, families, and type. Understand how to read all of this information inside a 3D model. You should understand how to navigate 3D models. You don't have to use Revit to design. You need to understand how to use Revit and navigate Revit. Because let's say, for example, you find there are several opportunities for many of surveyors in this digital age where you can work from anywhere. You can probably add it to your portfolio that you can prepare POQs from 3D models. Your work is not to design as a QS, but for a project that probably find yourself in a BIM environment where they're all using Revit model and they're using 3D model. It's like, oh, they don't teach us in school. No, and it's not done like that. So you have to find a way to develop yourself to learn how to make use of 3D softwares for your quantity takeoff. You understand that the possibility has gone wilder than what it used to be. Okay, I remember something: garbage in, garbage out. Do you get? So reviewing your model, it's like a major part of your job as a QS. Understanding how to use Revit goes a long way in using Autodesk Revit, using Revit for your point takeoff. Because when you understand how to navigate Revit and all, you can really check your model, check for double design, double count, mainly in ceiling. I've had that situation happen in ceilings and doors where you have double ceiling in specific points. And whatever you're doing your takeoff for is directly from the design. So you can easily query your design and send back to the design team. That's why you see one of the documents we used to prepare then when we use our manual takeoff is our query sheet. So the query sheet that we prepare is for us to do a drawing review, then send to the design team, query the design, and get feedback. So that is the same thing you are still going to do with 3D models. You have to check out the 3D models, check every page, every level, every category, every family, every type. Do your model check. So if there's any issue in the model, you can highlight it and send to the design team. So your work is not to redesign or even change anything. Some projects, if you don't touch their debit model, they can even sue you for it. But your work is to identify them. Some are not even editable. If they turn on collaborate and show you the project link, that's just to extract your quantities and move on. So your work are now cut out for you in this digital era. So when you want to saying, oh, bring the Revit model, I'll do the bill and everything, and that case is standing there to convert, and you see they don't have time. When someone is saying that, oh, you finish the bill in less than 20-30 minutes, another person is saying it take me 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Do you get the competition now? You see the landscape is changing and the competition is changing. So it is now left for you to now build yourself for the new competition that is going on out there. Do you understand? Okay. Now, where ADLM comes to fit, or where we help you out, or what we've done at ADLM so far. What we've done at ADLM is we focused on international tools to fit our reality here. That's what we've done at ADLM. You see, ADLM started this we have started activity since 2019, 2020. That's close to 7 years now. Now, we started our activity, we realized that there's literally no QS using digital software form. The only thing we were taught then is Excel. So what we did at ADLM was started ADLM out that okay, we started with teaching digital tools to young quantity surveyors. That was our initial market. Many people that first took our trainings way back at 2019, 2020 knew that our target was young quantity surveyors because to learn how to make use of plan swift alone, you literally need to spend millions. It was only the big QSs that knew this plan swift. And the funny thing is, they were not even applying it because plan swift just came with the default tool of length, area, perimeter, and count. That means after you've done whatever magic you want to do on plan swift, you still have to go back to your manual take-off sheets or your Excel take-off sheet. And those that were advanced using advanced Excel then very, very senior QSs. So many of them will feel like instead of them wasting time on plan swift, they could just use their manual take-off and they'll still get their result done. So why would they invest in those softwares? So what we did at ADLM was we converted many of these tools to the Nigerian reality. The first version of our plan swift plugin came out as far back as 2021, 2022. We set the pace. We created this environment where point surveyors can now work with international tools to meet international standards. So you don't have to jump out or take one international course before you can make use of digital tools. When it comes to 3D takeoff, 3D takeoff used to be a myth. If you ask any quantity surveyor far back as 2020, 2021, even back to 2019 and or the late 2010s, they'll tell you, why would you think of digital takeoff? And even many of those elderly when they hear Revit, the only that comes to their mind is design. So when clients are now saying, oh, they are sending Revit models and all of that, they get confused because they'll be like, what should they use Revit model for? They are QSs, they're not designers. But now a QS can confidently say, oh, bring the Revit model, I'll pay the bill of quantity. This is because we built the Revit plugin, which is the first of its kind anywhere in Nigeria and Africa, that allows quantity surveyor to now prepare bill of quantities and material schedules directly from 3D models, making your workflow digital, working from anywhere. Prepare your bill on your system, do your takeoff on your system, continue on your mobile devices. These are things we've made possible for us in Nigeria here. So your work as a QS is now cut out for you and is now made easier Now, instead of you jumping back and forth, it is the softest period you can ever have. So what we did is to make your workflow faster, more consistent, and even more professional. Now, by helping young surveyors move from I can do BOQ to I can prepare your cost information. One of the major features that we have on our the Revit plugin, and probably will be coming soon to the Plantswift plugin that we built, is cost dashboard, material dashboard, overview cost pricing. Where by the time you are doing your point takeoff, it's automatically generating your material schedule. You get to do your material analysis and create your dashboard. Now with the rate gen software, you get your rates also in real time. Okay, so the courses also we have an ADLM has actually helped to move from just BOQ preparation to building cost information, right, to cash flow forecast, 4D simulation, 5D simulation, cash analysis, material analysis, and several other things that you can do with your digital tools. So I want everyone on this call to take your mind off the limits or whatever limit you think. The limit QS softwares or digital tools are not limited to just quantity takeoff alone or build preparation. We have a very, very wide series of things that we can do with digital tools that are possible now. Okay, so our approach at ADLM is we train people on how to make use of digital tools, which is what we started out from the 2019 down to 2023. We're mostly training back to back. Then from 2021, 2022 down to date, we are launching our software and we're giving everyone one by one. And trust me, there is still more to come. So we are creating digital tools that will help to achieve speed and standardization. So many of us, I'm sure many of us on this call, QS chose us. And many people are still trying to find their footing even in the profession because many things looks very hard. But the use of digital tools and your knowledge of the profession, it makes your work easier and faster and even more standard. Then you have several templates and workflow that reduce repetitive processes. So instead of you picking for every project, you have to pick your calculator plus and minus to do material schedule every single time. With the tools we put at ADLM, while you're doing your takeoff, your material schedule is coming up. That's the future. We are literally bringing the future to you to understand that the possibility is wild. So you don't have to limit yourself as a young point surveyor to just take off alone or just plan sweep for point takeoff and feel like you can do something. No, that is just one of many. You need to build yourself, you need to build your skill, you need to build your capacity to be able to compete in the real world, not just within Nigeria, even get international jobs. You can work from the US in Nigeria, you can work Nigeria rather to in the US, in the UK, in several, even in Canada, because you put yourself out there using several digital tools, you are good with it, your interoperability skills is top notch. So it's not just about knowing how to use software, but being interoperable. Interoperability means your ability to use several software for different phases. I showed us earlier 6 different phases and different sets of softwares under different phases. So it's not just using one, but using several together. Okay. Now let's look at the real life workflow for a QS. Now your workflow as a modern QS, as a traditional QS, your workflow is different. For a traditional QS, you know that what you do is you get your drawing, you do your quantity takeoff, you do your bill of quantities, and that is all. That is it. Chicken now, you're done. But for a digital QS, your workflow is now different. It starts from you receiving your drawings, either as PDF drawing, scanned image, or 3D models now. So you confidently say, yes, make the 3D model, I'll prepare your bill of quantity for you from that. Then set up your work breakdown measurement rules. Which software are you using? How are you going about this takeoff? Is that 2D or 3D? Then which digital tools are you making? Digital takeoffs are you using for different fields of work? For a 2D drawing, you use Plantswift, you use or Costex or Bluebeam. For a 3D drawing, we use that's a BIM drawing. That's an information-rich model. When we talk about BIM model, it's not just a 3D model, but an information-rich model. A model that has been designed completely by the design team. So as I said, if you have friends that are in architecture, that are in civil engineering, that are in mechanical engineering or electrical engineering, go talk to them. Tell them, oh, please, can you get their Revit models for those designs? Go and meet them, get it from them, and you guys can play around and do something while in school there. Because while in school, it is easier for you to interrelate with several friends in different disciplines. You don't have to wait, oh, till you graduate before you'll be looking for Revit model. No, or even probably ask for people in the industry. It does not work that way. Do you understand? So you need to get a way to create this templates that you'll be making use of, get an information-rich model from your colleagues, and you can now use it to practice your TDD takeoff. Now, export quantities to either Excel or BOQ formats provided by the software. Build your rates using the rate gen. The ADLM rate gen basically has the rate build-up features and market check features. So you have the market prices for various material and labor prices. You have rates build-up also built on first principle. This is build manually doing all of this. The software has done all of that for you. Cost plan. Prepare your expenditure cost plan. Get your reporting, your summaries, build your dashboards, then make revision quickly. Whatever revision has been made to the design, you quickly adjust it and update your cost plan. Then cost control tracking processes. How do you track cost? Like creating probably your cash flow forecast. To prepare your cash flow forecast, use it to track cost, expenditure cost plan, inflow and outflow, variation, duration, and all of that. Great systems that are used to track them. This is you actually digitizing everything you've been taught in school and turning it, converting into a digital model. Do you understand? So these are things that skill sets that should be in your workflow and should actually help you grow faster and get good jobs post undergraduate period. That is where you have extra value. That's when you're giving yourself extra value in the market. Okay. Now, this is 2026. Let's look at emerging roles for quantity surveyor, young quantity surveyors. Like I said at the beginning of this lecture, your role is not limited to just quantity takeoff and bill of quantities. Nah, it is far, 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 far more than that. So that your expected roles beyond just a site QS or an office QS alone. That's either a contractor or consulting QS. We have BIM quantity surveyor, BIM cost specialist. That is a QS that can make use of 3D models. A QS that can also be assume the role of the BIM manager. So QS is not just a project manager alone. You can also become a BIM manager. And probably because I'm biased, I'm a quantity surveyor, right? And from my experience as a quantity surveyor, I keep saying it, a QS is still the best BIM manager. Because BIM is mostly about digital construction process, interoperability. So when you tell people that, oh, who should be the BIM manager of a project, it should be the QS. Because in real life, we're preparing a bill of quantities from PDF drawings from structural engineer, mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, HVAC engineer, structural engineer. We're using all of these people's information to prepare a bill of quantity. So it's the same thing we are doing in digital construction. So it is not the architect that will sit down with everybody's model and be doing 3D class inspection. It is the QS that can easily sit and play that role of becoming the BIM manager, because the QS understands everybody's workflow. Next is cost data analyst. As a QS, you are not just viewing your bill of quantity alone, you are making use of data analytical tools like Power BI, like Python R, using all of these tools to prepare your dashboard. So you're not just preparing your bill of quantity alone, you are presenting your dashboards to your clients, which will literally go a very long way in your presentation. The next is digital estimator or takeoff specialist, where you use digital tools for your quantity takeoff. then 5D BIM or cost plan specialist. We can do your 5D analysis where you merge your cost information, your BOQ with 3D models. This session is basically about exposing you to the possibility. Do you understand? This is exposing you to the possibility of what can happen. So it is not just about just the regular takeoff alone. No, it is more than that now. And it's important that as your point of view, you should know that you are carrying more than what you are giving yourself. There is more that you can offer. Okay, then claims and contract administrator. There is it's not Kappa and Abeto is in Lagos. Kappa literally has a department of claims. Like these people, their work there is to generate claims and look for claims. That's what they are doing 24/7. Do you understand? So if you cannot do all of this, create data-driven decisions. Look for previous projects that this person has done. Look at new projects. Look at the bill of quantities. Look at the construction method statement. Look at all of this information that has been provided. Then generate claims out of it. Procurement and commercial analyst. Contact product associate or even QS tech support in tech companies. Automation and template builder. So you can make use of either Excel, Power BI, or even Plansuite template builder to build templates for your organization or for your office. So you see that your roles they are now more than what it used to be. So it's not expected for your points of view to actually take advantage of all of this emerging opportunities and opportunities that are available. Take advantage of it and gain skill sets for all of these roles. Okay, what makes you stand out as a young quantity surveyor? What makes you stand out? What makes people call you a digital QS? Now, number one, your core as a QS, please. Because don't say because of we're talking about software and digital takeoff and all of that, you should forget or you should not be serious with the core aspect of a QS, of being a QS. Your manual method has to be on that. Your traditional method has to be on par. Because I mean, the bitter truth about software is garbage in, garbage out. And the basis of everything you be doing as a cost manager is from your takeoff. So if you're not good traditionally and you picked up probably a 2D drawing, which that happens mostly in 2D drawings, and you did not scale your drawing well, and your mind you're like, oh, I can use Plansuite, I can use this software, I can use this software. You miss your skill, probably due to parallax or something. And because of you don't have an idea of the traditional method, you will not be able to trace it out. So it is important that your core QS skill comes first. Now add your digital advantage. These are things that makes you stand out as a young quantity surveyor or as a student quantity surveyor. Do you get? Those are things that would make people buy. But you can't say, oh, because you know like 10, 15 different software, you come and look on take up. You are flopping. Or come and build rate on first principle. You are flopping. Organization will be like, oh, okay, even though you know how to use all of these tools, you are still not, your core is not good. So that's why I do advise your point of view, actually undergraduates that in as much as softwares are good and amazing, you still have to understand first principle. It is very, very important that you know how to do that. Okay. Now, other digital tools that you could master or learn doing this or skill set you could gain: use of Excel for creating structured BOQs, then your measurement mastery, the use of NRM and BSMM to align it with your measurement method, understand how to describe perfectly with NRM and BSMM. Your communication skills must be on par, like really, really on par. Write clearly, assumptions, summaries, reports. Be able to communicate information to your digital team, your construction project team. How do you find yourself in an organization where they implement BIM fully? I know writing in app or this, you are sending clear messages out, or probably find yourself becoming the BIM manager in your organization. When you query designs or you're in their jobbing query, you can't easily write out clear reports and send queries to the design team. These are innate skill that you need to understand and gain advantage of. Then BIM awareness, understand how to use Revit for quantity takeoff and understand how to navigate Revit. Scheduling awareness, also know how to use Microsoft Project for your project schedules. Then portfolio, you can build your portfolio, work with your colleagues in other departments in the university, get models from them, use it to build your portfolio, work on like 2-3 different models, collect a model from an architect, or just tell the architecture students in your department or in your faculty, please work on so thing. Take that same brief to the mechanical engineer, take that same brief to the electrical engineer, take that same brief to the structural engineer. All them should work on the same thing together. Bring up a way to interpret all of them. These are simulations that you can do with your colleagues. This is no stress. Bring everyone together. Assume a construction project idea that you people want to work on. The best time you can easily reach everybody and work together for free and build portfolio. It is at this phase that you are at now. If I had had someone to tell me all of this information or give all of this information when I was an undergraduate, probably I'd have gone further than this. You get so you don't work in isolation, probably when you're an undergraduate. Build friends across disciplines. You'll be surprised that probably those portfolio that you guys build, so one of you can just take it out there. So a client likes it and brings you out that, okay, you can do your first big break after you graduated. It is very important for you to work on all of these things together. Don't be lazy, put in the work. Do you get? So basically, some basic videos are on the ADLM channel where you can usually get at least basic knowledge on how to gain one of these skills, some of these skills. I think we have about 115 videos where you can check out on ADLM channel that will help you from navigating Revit to quantity takeoff to valuation to variation to program of works, and they're all on ADLM YouTube channel. So you can check that out and at your pace go through it. That's literally a free material for you. Okay, now let's look at our roadmap before I round up our session. You should create a 90-day roadmap. So this is a template that you can use to grow yourself within 90 days. That's 12 weeks. Your first 4 weeks should be about building your foundation. Okay, you should use on your first 4 weeks to build your foundation, generate your measurement principle and your takeoff basics as your first. Build that foundation very well. Then understand Excel, how to make use of Excel. Create your own BOP template. See, you don't have to wait. I see people come on WhatsApp group and platform and be like, I need build format for this, I need build format for that. Creating your build format is a vibe, it's a plus on your own. How do you build it gives you this sense of practice. Okay, you want to create a build format for a stadium. All you do is do your research on the construction methodology for a stadium. Prepare your BOP format. Just leave the quantity columns empty. Describe each item of work at each stage, price it, look for a rate, build it. These are things you should be doing. These are research you should do. So if you probably work on stadium today, shopping complex tomorrow, barracks next tomorrow. So if you work on that, like I'm just giving you examples of things you can work on within your undergraduate years. You find yourself graduating with several BOP templates that you prepared, skill set on how to use digital takeoff tools, both 2D and 3D drawings. Now, if you have all of this on your portfolio, you open a Fiverr account or an Upwork account. Trust me, you get gigs as undergraduates. You might even get gigs as a model reviewer or a BIM manager or a clash detection analyst or a 4D simulation analyst or 5D simulation analyst. So it is left for you to now understand that your workflow is a lot. Now, by the time you are graduating with enough skill sets. We call it digital QS. So between your week 5 to week 8, look at BIM plus cost intelligence. How do you navigate Revit? How do you use Revit? How do you work around it? How do you check your levels? How do you check your templates and all of that? They're all inside Revit. How to build your rates, how to create a cost plan. That's your expenditure cost plan. Cash flow forecast. Then between week 9 and week 12, look at professional output. Prepare a full con takeoff, a BOQ, cost reports, and probably a mini dashboard with Power BI. Within the first, so you have 3 months to gain some skill sets. Prepare the first one. Once you've done the first one, okay, go back again, work on another project, do the same thing, repeat it across for a whole year. You're an undergraduate, you have the time on your hands. Trust me, it might look like it is a lot. I started out my journey as an undergraduate. Okay, started out my journey as an undergraduate, and I am here now. So even with school stress, when I was in school, I was doing student union, I was a faculty leader, I was everywhere, and I still had time to do and build my skill sets to get to where I am today. So I see some undergraduates say, oh, the school is stressful, school is this, school is that. No, it is you. And life is easier now. Our own time was not this easy. It was not this digitized. The advent of BIM in 2015 and all of that was a different journey. Now there are people that can guide you. When I started out, there was nobody that was doing what I do when I started out, or the path I wanted to follow. There was nobody I could call to look up to. So it was a dark phase or a dark period, and it was me doing my thing. You get, but now you have materials, you have YouTube videos. You think if I had a YouTube video of over 100 videos, or YouTube channel of over 100 videos, far back as 2015, 2016, I would have probably be thinking of a different problems to solve right now. So your work is already cut out for you. For those that say, oh, you have to be serious with book and all of that. When I was in school, for my honestly, I was once an electoral commissioner for NQSS. I was a faculty honorable. I was faculty AGS, acting president of my faculty at some point. I did everything. Down to Student Union Electoral Commission, Great President Union Electoral Commission. That is literally touching everything that has to do with politics. Digitization too. Started out ADLM while I was probably my undergraduate days. So that is to show you that there is more you can do. It is just about time management. And that does not mean I'll still not go out once in a while. So there's literally no excuse. It is now late for you to put in the work. Give yourself, this is a template that I can follow within the next 3 months and show your results. Now your goal is to become employable, referable, and not just available. And so, oh, you are graduating, oh, you are a QS and you are looking for jobs and all of that. What makes you stand out? How do you become employable and referable? How do you gain those advantages with the industry? These are things you need to look out for. Okay. So, in conclusion, if you are a student or a young point surveyor, number one, you have to choose a niche and start by building your proof of work. Choose a niche you want to follow. Either you want to become a takeoff specialist, a BIM QS, a cost planning and reporting QS. You want to be involved in data analysis and dashboard building. You want to become a commercial cost manager or contract cost manager. Pick your path and start building. Okay. So you can always reach out to ADLM via our website, our YouTube channel, our LinkedIn page for trainings, demos, and probably mentorship, or if mentorship opportunities are available. So my question to you as we round up this session is, which digital skills are you committing yourself to build this year, and why? These are questions you should answer on your own. Pick a skill. So this is just generally. Pick a skill, digital skill you want to pick up. Then understand this skill, build yourself on it, and be capable at it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for such a rousing and well-delivered session. Please, let's see our show of hands as appreciations. Let's use our emojis as appreciation. So I know some of us are going to be bubbling with a lot of questions right now. So if you have any questions under the 2 minutes, kindly type it on the chat box so we can ask our host these questions. If you have any questions, kindly type them in the chat box. If you have any clarifications, if you need anything that needs to be explained to you, kindly type them on the chat box under 2 minutes while we hold on for that. So questions, clarifications, things that you feel you need to ask, misconceptions that has been on your mind, please kindly type them on the chat box now as we wait. So I still await questions on the group chat. Can we get the material that was presented by the speaker? Of course, I'm going to ask the speaker for the materials. Also, for those of us that might not be familiar with the YouTube channel, the link for the YouTube channel has been posted on the chat. So kindly ensure you visit the ADLM Studio YouTube channel, follow and also like the videos on the YouTube channel. So I still await further questions. Okay, I can see the first questions. Just 1 more minute for other questions that you might probably have. Please do not be shy to type your questions on the chat box. This might be the only opportunity you might have to be answered. So do not hesitate to type that questions on the chat box. Kindly do that. Okay, I think I'll take the first question then. So what skills can one provide for one working in a hospital environment as a QS? QS Kozima, are you still on the call?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So the question is what skills can one provide? What skills can one provide for one working in a hospital environment as a QS?
As a QS in an hospital environment, there will be a maintenance unit, procurement unit. Okay, so for a QS that finds yourself in an hospital environment, you should be able to do your schedule. There's something called schedule of dilapidation, where you get to go around the hospital, identify points or places that have issues, either structurally or even finishing wise, or even mechanical and services wise. So you have to go around the hospital building, check out the entire building, identify all of this, then price all of this. Even probably you need extra beds at the hospital, prepare a procurement plan for the hospital and submit it to the director or whoever is in charge for them. So this will like give them saying, okay, and create a timeline that okay, they are going to do maintenance for this specific section. How long will it take them and all? So basically, the use of digital skills will actually help you. Like the Excel, you can use Excel for preparing your schedule of calculation. You can use your phone, your iPhone. For those of us that are using iPhone, I think from iPhone 11 upwards, has this VR scanner at the back. So you can use the scanner at the back to scan the space, take your measurement to your phone, transfer your measurement to Excel, and do your reports and all of that for your schedule and submit it to whoever is in charge. That way, you can be more useful for the hospital. Thank you.
Okay, Oliver, I hope your questions was answered well. For the next question, which digital software should I focus on if I want to become a project manager? That's a very big question.
Okay. For you to become a project manager, you need to, we are dealing with more of the time aspect of things. So you should probably focus on MS Project, Navisworks, Revit. Then there's this time management app that is on ADLM website. If you go to ADLM website and create an account, in the dashboard section, I think there is a freebie section there. So there's a free app there that allows you to do your work study, something they call work study. Just expect videos on that very soon on ADLM YouTube channel, very, very soon, on how to use this app for your work study. Then you can use that work study as your basis for preparing your time or duration plan for project. So basically, you need to focus on tools I mentioned earlier: MS Project, Navisworks, Revit. With that, you're good to go.
Okay, so before I move on to the next question, I'm going to be sending a link to the ADLM website. So for anyone who doesn't have that link, I have sent it to the chat post. Kindly ensure you visit the website and also sign up, register on the website. So moving on to the next question. Please, is the ADLM training online or on site? Is it virtual or physical, the ADLM training platform?
My courses are all online, virtual. All our courses,
Okay.
trainings are virtual and video trainings.
Okay, Miriam, all trainings are virtual. Kindly ensure you visit the website and sign up for the one that piques your interest or where you want to be based in. Another question from another person: places where a QS can work apart from the known ones. So this person is asking for the unnamed places where quantity surveyors can work and thrive apart from the named ones or the known ones.
What are the known ones? Let me start from there. The question is very generic, but I'll try my best to actually answer the question. As a quantity surveyor, you should be able to work in normal construction, contracting, can work in banks, can work at banks, can work in the hospital, like I explained earlier, can work in contact firms also. You can work as a project manager, you can work as a PIM manager, others can even work as some people that produce building materials, even canteen, restaurants, Boko has the QS department and everything, supermarkets. So these are various, there are several places you can work. There's no limits where you can work as a quantity surveyor. Okay.
Yeah, I can actually testify to the Boko at least to an extent that yeah, they do have a department to being a review, and I even have someone who works in who interned at a milk company. You actually be surprised that a milk company also has a QS department too. So there are actually no limits to where a QS can actually work. We have had the opportunity to meet a QS that works in Chicken Republic.
Yeah. So there's no limit basically.
At what point will variety have outputs be professional judgment? And how is this decision justified contractually? This is a very big question. QS cousin us.
So I lost you for a minute.
The question says, at what point should a QS override digital output with professional judgment? And how is this decision justified contractually?
Okay. At what point should the QS override digital outputs? I don't think there is a need for a QS to override digital output. It is just what comes out. It is based on your skill set. You know what you want to measure for. It is your skill set you are using to. It is digital. It's not like digital output came out from nowhere. It is you that extracted quantities from models. So the digital output, when it comes to 3D model, I've had people say, how do I verify the quantity that's coming from a Revit model? And I'd be like, Azal, Revit model is a 3D model that has already been built already. that has been designed already by the design team. You are not, your work as a QS is to extract quantities from drawing and use it for your cost planning or project planning. So you are not changing anything. Like, for example, you did your work takeoff. Probably you want to add extra to allow for waste or something. These are things that comes with your experience as a QS. Do you understand? So it's not like listen, that's why it is important that no, you should not just know how to use digital tools alone, but your core as a QS should be on par. Do you understand? So that with that helps you a lot.
Okay. I think I skipped a bit of questions. Please, is the ADLM training free? Of course not. But
No,
you've
they are
been the
not.
best fish.
Of course, the detailed courses are not free. You can check out the websites. Once you get there, you see various the courses that are available and digital tools that are also available on the ADLM website there.
Okay. Next questions. In practice, how effective are digital QS tools in managing variations and claims compared to traditional documentation methods?
Traditional documentation methods. Basically, what we are still using for managing variation and claims is still Excel, and that's the only digital tool everyone use, Excel and PDF. So there's no other tool for managing variation and claims for now, as at today. Tomorrow can come and probably you see a tool like that, but as of today, there is none. We still basically the use of Excel.
Okay, next question. Sir, you mentioned something about presenting your workflow. What softwares are best suited for that, for presenting workflows?
4D simulation use Navisworks, 5D simulation use Navisworks, dashboard preparation use Power BI. That's all for that.
Okay, I think that question is answered. Next question. If someone wants to focus on cost management, what digital tools can he or she focus on?
Cost management, that's to do with quantity takeoff and BO preparation. So for cost management, you use PlanSwift or Revit for quantity extraction and BO preparation. Use Excel to prepare your cost plan. Can use Power BI also to prepare your dashboard plan and do your material analysis and probably do some more of cost analysis on that project. So using those 4 softwares together would go a long way. So basically, the ADLM BIM courses covers all of this, both the 5D and 4D aspects. So you can always check that out on the websites.
Okay,
Okay.
I think that will be all for the questions for now. There are a couple of appreciation messages on the chat box too. So very quickly, I'm going to be calling on I thought the next president was on the call, but it seems he has hesitated. So let me call on the next Vice President International, Comrade Damilola, to give us a vote of thanks.
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, ADLM, for this impactful lecture. We really appreciate, and thank you for always uh, helping us out, always impacting us. We are very grateful. And to everyone on this call, thank you for joining, and we really appreciate your presence. To our senior colleagues on the call, I can see QS Sarah and some other people that I might not be able to recognize. Thank you so much for joining. And we would love you all to also continue to support the NAX Southwest. And there's a lot more to come. And we will appreciate you all for your continued support. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Nax, International General Council Chairman. Also, I'd like to call on QSERA to give us a few words of advice. QSR, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm still with you. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I want to thank the organizers of this wonderful webinar, this impactful, this educative webinar. And also, I want to thank the speaker, my boss. Thank you so much for creating out time out of your busy schedule to come and lecture and enlighten us about digital tools. We really appreciate. And I won't speak much. I will just one advice I will just give us is those of us in school, it's better we start now. Like QS QUASIM has said, we have to start now. Anything we want to do, we start planning now. If we want to start with the softwares, we start planning now. We get the price of the software, we start saving now for our betterment of tomorrow. You don't expect your company when you are done to ask you what can you do, or let them start teaching you how to do takeoff. Nobody has that time. What they know is for you to deliver. And if you don't have these digital tools to deliver, you're as good as useless to them. So they will not even take you serious. So for you to bridge these gaps, you have to get yourself prepared before you graduate. You have to get yourself prepared. Before I went back to school, I used like 4 years at home practicing. I went to learn QS. I went to learn it. I didn't just sit down and fold my hands. I went to learn it. So now, you calling me to do job for you, I will confidently prize you and I will be you. Why? Because I know I have what you want. So I can do guy with my price. If you don't want, I'll tell you go, because I know it. But if I don't know it and I just start as a fresh graduate, I just come to you that I'm looking for a job. Then you ask me, can you do bill of quantity? Can you do this? I'll tell you no, sir, but I will learn. They will not take me serious. They might decide to say, okay, for a start, I'll be paying you 25,000 naira. I don't have choice. I will collect it. But now you cannot tell me to come and do a job for you for 200,000. I will tell you I don't want to do it. Why? Because I know what it takes. I've equipped myself and I'm still learning. We learn every day. I had a course with ADLM, Microsoft project, which I paid and I'm doing it. And I'm still going to enroll for another course. So we need to equip ourselves. We don't need to just sit down and wait for manna to fall from heaven. No, you have to work yourself out there. So that is all what I have to say, and I wish all of us the best and a successful year ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma, for that wonderful speech. And thank you to everyone that joined in today. Before before we put on our closing prayer and end the session today, I would like to formally announce that the NQSS Southwest will be starting a MEP workshop soon. It is meant to start second week of February and is meant to run for a period of 6 weeks. So this is another opportunity to build up your portfolio as a quantity surveyor. And trust me, despite the training is going to be given out for free, it is going to be very, very strict. Only people who are interested and show seriousness are going to be allowed into the program and be ready to gain access to all the resources that we have, because a tutor is going to be putting us through this, a assistant tutor is going to be putting us through this. So I would like to plead with us all to try to take advantage of these opportunities and try to use it to build up our portfolio as a quantity surveyors. So I would like to give the closing prayer at this point. We thank Almighty Allah for sparing our life, for being able to witness this particular program for today. And we pray to Almighty God that every single thing that we've learned today we are able to practicalize, learn, and to grow on it. And we thank Almighty God for giving us the opportunity to learn today and be among the living today. May Almighty Allah keep on watching over us. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun